Hey everybody, it's Glenn back in this video with a toy rewind as we travel back to 1998, simpler times not only for action figures but also video games, back when I could play them without getting a headache and having to go and lay down in a darkened room to recover. It's X-Men vs Street Fighter, Apocalypse vs Dhalsim. As we look at the packaging back, we see all the 2-packs available in this, what was the second and final series of this toy line. Some figures you see there in their second player incarnations, which in video games such as Street Fighter meant when playing with a buddy, the game not breaking down into an actual fight as to just who gets to play as their favourite character. In action figure form, it allowed Toy Biz to save some pennies by putting out the exact same action figure, but painted blue. Then we look at the packaging back in its entirety, and these days, card back bios are kept brief. You know, Captain America has a shield, stuff like that. Yet here we get an essay chronicling not only the bio of each character, but also the story of the game itself. It had a story? As a kid in the 90s, combining two things I loved and allowing them to kick the crap out of each other was enough. But in hindsight, thinking of it, X-Men vs Street Fighter? Why? Well, let's find out. The timeless nemesis of the X-Men, Apocalypse, has masterminded a new plan for ruling the Earth. This time it's not just one world he will dominate, but two. Apocalypse has opened a portal to the Capcom universe, a reality existing alongside the Marvel universe, and has transported a group of powerful warriors known as Street Fighters into the Marvel universe. Apocalypse's intention is to pit these Street Fighters against the X-Men and eliminate them. And so on and so on, you get the idea. And as an idea, I kinda like it. How about with Bryan Singer's X-Men Apocalypse movie nigh upon us, that ends with that cinematic universe crashing into the Street Fighter cinematic universe. I for one would be jumping for joy like Chun-Li back there. I mean, who wouldn't want to see James McAvoy and Jennifer Lawrence versus Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue? So that's just me then, is it? What? They played Guile and Cammy in the 1994 live-action Street Fighter movie, remember that? No? Oh well, from craptastic back to plastic with Apocalypse and Dhalsim out of packaging. So you played through all the excitement of the game, so who wouldn't want to relive all that fun by smashing two pieces of plastic into each other? Oh, and now I see why video games are killing off action figures. I mean, for me, you'll have to rip my action figures from my dying grip. But even I can see how it's going to take more than a kung fu kick spring-operated action feature for action figures to compete. Yet it's nice here that we have the action figures and video games united as one. Then a bonus is that we get this diorama backdrop for the two to face off against. Looking closely at it, it features various X-Men and Street Fighter characters confined to test tubes. Maybe for experimentation, perhaps Apocalypse is trying to answer that age-old question, what do you get when you cross Blanka with Psylocke? Insert your own punchline in the comments below. Taking a closer look, and Dhalsim is pretty nice, I mean for the time. Later, Sota made much more superposable Street Fighter figures with articulation that allowed a more accurate recreation of the character's moves from the video games. But as per 1998, the articulation on offer here is pretty standard. However, some nice mixed media elements with the tattered shorts, rope belt and metal bangles. Topped off like every good outfit with a necklace consisting of shrunken skulls. Playing Street Fighter, Dhalsim was one of my go-to characters, a seemingly peaceful yoga master who could then breathe fire and repeatedly bitch slap an opponent with his stretchy long limbs just seemed to tickle my fancy. Now switching attention to Apocalypse, and his head sculpt with its evil sneer seems to be a direct reference to Apocalypse as he appears in the video game. And that head sculpt is new to this version, as beyond that it is the same as the Apocalypse we looked at in the previous episode, released as part of the general X-Men toy line a few years earlier, albeit with a deco more representative of his appearance in the video game, with parts appearing almost black, but under closer inspection, it's actually a really nice dark, glittery, metallic blue deco. Now like the previous release of this Apocalypse, he inherits the same play feature of interchangeable weapon arms. While the pincher arm remains the same as before, here we also get a drilling arm arm new to this version, which is really cool as to my mind it is the most memorable of his various weapon arms used in the game. Stuck in my head are images like this with poor Rogue versus a giant drill arm. Actually, I think it looks better if we swap out the pincer arm for his regular one there. Open wide, Dhalsim. Apocalypse needs to fix a cavity. Anyway, click this video as I prep for the release of the X-Men Apocalypse movie by collecting and assembling all 9 of the Variant Empire covers. Please give this video a big thumbs up, don't make me beg now, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.